For a period of about 6 months now, there has been palpable tension in the government, coupled with a lot of confusion and error. It started with the parliamentarians passing the Finance Bill 2024, when they thought that it would be business as usual, as they did with the Finance Bill 2023. To their utter shock, the Kenyan streets were full of people who were demonstrating, and they were telling William Ruto, enough is enough. Members of parliament were given a curfew. They could not get to churches. As a matter of fact, they vacated their rural homes. They were hiding in their homes in towns and cities. Then followed the accusations that someone had infiltrated the Gen Z's protest and he wanted to overturn Ruto's government. Then we were treated to this news that as a result of that, William Ruto had reached out to Raila Amolo Odinga to help him stabilize the government. Raila gave out 4 of his members, the ODM members, to go and help William Ruto. And then Kenyans were asking, do we have an opposition? From the way things were moving, we knew that there wasn't any opposition left. But the ODM has since maintained that they are independent and they are still checking this government. The Azimio fraternity has since disintegrated. Martha Karua walked out. Then Eugene also walked out. Kalonzo is soon on his way out. Then, before we knew it, Rigathi Gachagua was so bad that he could not be in this government, and recently he was ousted from the government, replaced by Kithure Kindiki. But that is not enough. We now hear of some rumor that wanataka kusafisha hii serikali, that there's going to be some cleanup, that the PSS are going to be appointed afresh. The House committees are going to be revisited. And as we speak, people are still wondering who is safe. I want us to listen to Geoffrey Ruko explaining what is happening.
Sema ni kwamba we have sanitized the presidency. We sanitize the security of our country. We must sanitize the Parliament of the Republic of Kenya. We must sanitize the National Assembly, the committees of Parliament, the leader of majority jameni, the committees of Parliament azikai vizuri. Before we go to recess in December, Kimani Ichung'wa na wale viongozi wengine katika bunge ya kitaifa, the committees of Parliament, we need to reconstitute those committees so that we can be able to align the leadership of committees of the National Assembly so that they can be able to deliver the mandate of the National Assembly to the people of the Republic of Kenya. Kuna wengine hapo machairman hapo lazima wakwende. There are some chairmen of committee katika mbunge yetu ya kitaifa, lazima wangolewe, wengine wakalie hizo viti ili tuweze kuleta the policies and laws which can save the Republic of Kenya, which can steer the development and steer clear the suffering ya watu wa Kenya. We don't want chairmen who are rent seekers. We don't want chairmen who are budgeting corruption in the national budget of the Republic of Kenya. So if the National Assembly leadership, as far as departmental committees are concerned, asijapangwa sawasawa, wewe Kimani Ichung'wa, tunajua umefanya kazi kubwa, tunaona unajua kulenga maneno, tafadhali kabla twende December, lenga hii ya committees, nyorosha sawasawa. Wale ambao hawawezi kufanya kazi, hawajaweza kufanya kazi vizuri for the last 2.5 years, wakwenda nyumbani. Tuweke mwambunge ambao wanaweza ukalia hiyo vitu sawasawa na kufanyia wananchi wa Kenya kazi vizuri.
Ukiangalia sasa hivi, nani anaongelea mambo ya mama mboga? Ukiangalia sasa hivi, nani anaongelea mambo ya pikipiki? Nani anaongelea mambo ya kazi ni kazi? Sasa hivi
serikali ya Kenya Kwanza
yapo wapi? Unajua tusiseme tu mambo hakutakuwa na mabadiliko yoyote. Nataka kuhakikishia leo hapa.
Mbona unasema vile?
Hakutakuwa na mabadiliko yoyote Kenya hii kama tutakuwa na hii bunge ambayo iko sasa hivi. Hatutakuwa na mabadiliko yoyote. Bunge ambayo haisomi hata policy yoyote, inaletewa karatasi, wanaambiwa kuja piga kura, hawasomi ni programs gani zimekuja kwa wananchi. Unapata program inakuja kwa wananchi, haijakuwa tested, tena tunatoa hiyo program, tunarudi kwenda kupeleka jikoni. So kama hatuna bunge ambayo inaweza oversight the executive.
In short unasema bunge limetekwa nyara kama
bunge limetekwa nyara, hakuna bunge Kenya hii. Sasa hivi tunaona sasa tena mahakama inatekwa nyara. So hakuna mabadiliko itafanyika Kenya kama bunge, mahakama imetekwa nyara. Tuna expect miracle.
From the tone and the mood, you can easily tell that they are up to something. Why is it that all of a sudden there is this urgency? There is an urgent need to clean up the government. There is an urgent need to relook, into the chairpersons of house committees. What has really happened? It is being hidden that there are chairpersons in these committees that are incompetent, or rather have become inert. They cannot meet the expectations of parliamentarians and the people. But when you scrutinize further, you realize that the timing of this push to remove these people from their committees is really significant and it's really wanting. It is coming at a time just a few weeks after Rigathi Gachagua was ousted. If you want to know that this thing is serious, because this is how it started by some rumors that, Rigathi Gachagua has become untenable in the government, and things are moving very slowly. Kimani Ichung'wah telling William Ruto that there is a snake in your hands that you need to shelve so that you can run the government smoothly. Listen to Kimani Ichung'wah again, because anytime you hear Kimani Ichung'wah speak, then you know that thing is coming. Where there is smoke, there is fire. Listen to Kimani Ichung'wah.
Honorable Speaker, I was saying it's imperative that we reiterate from your seat, Honorable Speaker, the need for members to be in the House, especially chairs and their vice chairs, because even if all these members who have to ask questions were in the House, Honorable Speaker, and statements, you need those chairs and their vice chairs to respond and tell you when does the member expect an answer. And probably that is why the members who are even coming to ask questions are not here, because there will be nobody to respond to them. And let me tell chairs from both sides of the House, if you are a chair of a committee or a vice chair, please take your work seriously. If you do not, we have another 280 members who can take those positions. Do the honorable thing. If you don't have time for the House, just do the honorable thing. And we're in this season, the season Junet Mohammed calls the season of impeachment. I am not encouraging anyone to impeach anyone. But if need be, please impeach these chairs and their vice chairs if they can't be in the House. Please impeach them.
You can easily connect the dots and you will realize that this is not just about the chairpersons. I want to agree from this desk that if there are people who have been given their roles in Parliament and they are not performing to the expectations of those who gave them the job, then they should quit. That one we must agree. And it must trickle down even into all offices. If you are in a position that you are expected to perform and you are being maintained by taxpayers' money, there are people who toil outside here to maintain your office, to maintain your vehicles and your drivers and your security. Then if you cannot perform that duty to the expectation of Kenyans, you have to quit. However, you will realize that it is not just non-performing chairpersons. Number one, there are people who are being targeted. And on this list are the members of Parliament who did not support the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. I will repeat again in this channel that if there is something that William Ruto cannot entertain, is betrayal or defiance. It is either Ruto's way or the highway. And if there is something that William Ruto cannot do is forgiving. And so members of parliament who defied especially openly, these are especially members from Mount Kenya who boycotted the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. They are going to face the music according to William Samoei Ruto. And number one on this list is Ndindi Nyoro. Ndindi Nyoro was a very close ally of William Ruto, sometimes being pushed to check Rigathi Gachagua, being told that he was poised to become the deputy president, being told it was time for Muranga because Kiambu had had their day with two presidents, Jomo Kenyatta and Uhuru Kenyatta, and then Nyeri had had Mwai Kibaki as the president and Rigathi Gachagua as the deputy. Therefore, they are being told it was time for Muranga. He was charged against Uhuru Kenyatta, charged against Raila Amolo Odinga, and then he realized that Mount Kenya was being taken for granted, and he switched off. He stopped attacking Rigathi, he stopped attacking Raila Amolo Odinga because he knew that the person whom he was charged to attack had gotten into the government, despite the fact that William Ruto told them, we will never allow Mtu Akitendawili into this government. He watched things very closely and realized that the moment Raila donated their people to get to government, that is when William Ruto intensified the quest to forcefully eject Rigathi Gachagua. So Ndindi Nyoro is top on the list, and because of revenge, they are trying to eject him. But they don't have any other reason to explain to Kenyans why they are doing this. At least for Rigathi, they said he was sabotaging the president, life was difficult, they were incompatible, there was no harmony in government. For Ndindi Nyoro, you will have to tell the people what you really want. Because as a member of parliament in Kiharu, he's working. As a member of the budget committee, chairperson of the budget committee, he's doing his job. You will have to explain to Kenyans in details why you want to remove Ndindi Nyoro. Number two, there is an urgent need to accommodate ODM leaders, because ODM brags that they have stabilized this government. They are not mincing their words. In fact, on top of the list, they want the docket of the interior after Kithure Kindiki went to the deputy president docket. Because they feel without them, even Kithure Kindiki wouldn't have been given that seat. They even want permanent secretaries to be dissolved so that they refresh and get a few more. So there is this urge to ensure that they are accommodated. But as I said, it is going to be difficult, not unless they have decided that they are just going to do things forcefully with impunity. Mount Kenya is making undertones, and they are saying, we are watching very closely. We will not go to the streets. We will not demonstrate, but we are waiting for our moment. We are waiting for our time. They are waiting for 2027 to see what to do, because there are going to be political realignments. People are waiting for Raila Amolo Odinga. And in fact, if you ask Mount Kenya, they feel that Raila should not get the AU seat, because that will also help in the political equation that will come in 2027. They want to start selling the narrative that William Ruto cheated Raila Amolo Odinga. If Raila fails, that is going to be the narrative. And it might change the political equation. From where you sit, is it good, is it right to punish people who make their own choices? Because if we allow this tendency to continue, that you don't want MPs to be independent, you don't want MPs to maybe go back and ask their constituents, do you want us to impeach this person? Do you want us to pass this bill? Because if you read the mood in Kiharu, they never wanted Rigathi Gachagua to be impeached. But now they are being forced to impeach Rigathi Gachagua, which is quite wrong. And Ndindi Nyoro simply decided to boycott because the people of Kiharu who employed him told him, we don't want you to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. Even if he is expunged from that Parliamentary Budget Committee, he will still be re-elected. Who unto those people are now dancing to the tune of the executive, because come 2027, they will have a day with the electorates and they might not see light of day. Let them pray that William Ruto is re-elected because they can be given certain positions. But in the event, whether likely or unlikely, that William Ruto is not elected, then they have signed their political obituary.